Look at this face found by Leonard Walson using his 14-inch telescope on the moon crust. But it's really not that. It's really a hand. You can see these are fingers in different positions. Look, right there, holding the cylinder. This is the symbol, it's in everything. Look, it's a hand, look at the fingers. You can see the fingernails and everything. And it repeats. It goes in every direction. And it's holding the cylinder here, it's holding it here, right here, repeats. And it goes like that too, up and down, side to side, diagonal. Now let me show you the same face, but in the sky. And this is the freaky part. Look at that. The same face with a long nose, but it's not that, it's a hand. It's not just one hand, it's a bunch of them that repeats on everything. This is in a cloud. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that there is something funny going on here. Look at that. And I find the same thing everywhere else. Look, right there. That's another hand. Look at that. And those soft area, look, the geometry right there. You want to see what the geometry is? Look. It's fractals. The same thing, and it becomes smaller in this tool right here. That's another fingernail, and it goes smaller and smaller and bigger and bigger. That right there is a hand like this. The other finger like that. The other one like this. And the other one like that. Boom. It's always the same thing. No matter what, where you look at it, that symbol is in everything. It's insane. And you can see these tubes that are like soft, but it's because they use some kind of holographic shield that only the protruding deals that produce a lot is super visible, and it fails when the light and shadow hits it. You know, people think I'm crazy and I'm talking crap out of my mind, but I'm telling you, I have reviewed thousands upon thousands of images. And this thing plays with our mind. Look, here is the same thing. And it repeats, and repeats, and repeats. It's all fingers holding that cylinder thing. What makes the eyes is the same thing. I mean, I have recorded so many videos of the sky showing that in different ways. Well, I can make a whole video showing images of every single cloud that look like that, and structures and moons, planets, even on the sun. I already posted so many of them. But for some reason, some people just will not go there. They wouldn't accept it. They will not even consider it. They just cannot go there. Oh, that's pareidolia, whatever. That looks like a freaking face. I don't care what you believe it is, but it is not. If you see this thing, it goes like that. It's a double, and it has a hexagon with round edges. And a round tip, semi-spherical. And you can see that it's no one but two tubes, and it has the same oval-shaped thing. It's because the entire structure is made out of the same thing: hands, and fingers, and fingernails. And you can see it up here, the pinky, the ring finger, the middle finger, and the index. I mean, like I say, it's an insane deal, but look, what a coincidence that thing repeats in the sky, and this guy is recording the same type of image. I mean, very little different. So I can just explain this deal. But when you look at the picture in detail, you see that it's made out of fingers, and it's the same thing. Just that people just don't look at the details of the image. You can see it right here. Look at that. The same thing. Fingers up, diagonal, horizontal, in different ways. And then the whole thing made one enormous hand. Look, I'll show you right here. That's the other finger, and the other finger, and that finger divided into a smaller finger, and look, that's the top of that cylinder thing. which is made out of a bunch of other smaller hands that go in different ways. And you can see the fingernail perfectly, but that every single hand is made out of smaller fingers. Look at that. You see the soft lines, and each one of them is made out of the same thing. You can see one finger here and the fingernail perfectly. And you can see that it goes to the left, to the right. It's like a holographic projection. It's like I said, it's insane. Well, people tend to see the big picture. Yeah, you see the eyes. Wow, a malevolent looking deal. Well, like I say, the basic shape, when you detail the image, then you know that what I'm saying is what it is. It's made out of hands. And the hands have fingers and fingernails, and it's super clear. In most of the cases, you have to take the color off, and you have to enlarge the image to see what this deal is really like. And that's what I use, the Summit program. Years ago, I used to think that it's all reptilian looking because they do look like that. But when you get close, really close, and you start looking at the details in the image, you realize that all of this is made with fingers and hands in a grotesque way. Look, I'll give you an example right here. You can see the fingernail. And then you have another finger, another hand right here. And then another one that repeats right behind. It's like a fractal. But it's so incredibly made that it goes to the left and to the right. And that's the insane part, that the geometry is so perfect. There is no weather in this planet or any kind of wind that can create that kind of imagery. And a cloud. Look at right there. That is one enormous finger. Look. And a stretch out fingernail. Another finger. And then you see the next finger big. And you see the fingernail stretch out. And so forth. And then the smaller fingers right there with the same exact configuration, exactly. And it looks kind of grotesque because it's stretched out, but it's the same thing, I'm telling you. And people will not even think or consider that because it sounds